Yo, what is up, everybody? And this is part 2 in my Climbing to 1700 series on Chess.com Rapid for day number 11. I didn't end up recording this game. I accidentally stopped, even though I was before, but I will end up reviewing this game too, and just letting you guys know later, I won't be recording every game I play for Rapid. I will instead maybe like record a few and then not record a few. So some videos will be like this, analyzing instead of having live games. So let me know if you like this. Okay, so starting off, we got the move pawn to d4, and we played pawn to c5. A pretty unorthodox move. This is known as the old Benoni defense, and it's quite a flexible opening because after pawn to d5, we can do a lot of things here. We can go g6, Fianchetto immediately. We can go e6, which I did play. Or we can go knight to f6, and after they play c4, we can go to Banco Gambit. So, a lot of options here, but I went with the move pawn to c6 because we immediately challenge White's center. If they take, we can capture back, and now we can push d5 really easily. So, favorable position there, but he ended up pushing up to c4, the most common and challenging option to face, because we take back, and now we push up to g6. Pushing up to d6 is also fine, but yeah, we push up to g6, looking to Fianchetto on this long diagonal, and paired with these pawns, it will be a pretty good control over these dark squares. So yeah, knight to c3, pawn to e4, and now we get knight to g6, bishop to g6, taking advantage on this long diagonal. So we see knight, bishop to b5 check, we get our bishop out, he takes, we capture back with the knight, and just pretty much standard developing moves. I went with knight to e5, just taking really good control over the center. This is a very good spot. He ended up trading down, and he does get a pass pawn here, but we have the queenside majority, and after a move like a6, we can push up to b5 and get a really good center. I mean, a really good queenside attack, and we can quickly create a pass pawn for ourselves. And that being said, this pawn, I mean, there's a lot of pieces staring at it right now. We can castle, get a rook in, our bishop can always come down, and once this pawn starts to push forward, it has no other pawns to defend it, because this pawn is on lockdown, and there is no c-pawn. So, having a pass pawn there, not really much of a threat. So he checked, and I went back with the knight. I'm going to assume, like, going up with the queen was the best, because though we do give up castling rights, we're still doing fine here because, I mean, the queens are off the board and my king's in no danger right now. So, but I went back with the knight. Again, still fine move. And then I just castled. And the first mistake of the game, rook to d3. Because now I push up to a6. And b5 is pretty much unstoppable, and that's going to come with tempo. The queen's going to have to fall back, and it's going to come with even more tempo on the rook. And this could just become very dangerous for white very quickly. So he decided to get active on this side, playing h4, and looking to just kind of come down here, especially since my knight is not on f6, not covering h5, but I ignored that and just went b5. And now queen dropped back, now c4, and we're up 2.2 on the eval bar according to the engine. So yeah, the rook came over, and now this is turning into a legitimate threat, especially if he takes and gets the double rooks on the h-pawn. But again, I just ignored it and played b4. The knight dropped back, and now I played bishop to h6 check. Not exactly a terrible move, but not the move the engine was looking for, because after knight to c5, I mean, this is just a killer knight. It's hitting this pawn. I mean, we're looking to come into d3. I mean, this is a super darn well-supported knight. This is just a monstrous knight, and white really cannot deal with it that well. So, but I missed it and went bishop check, and this is still a fine move. And then I ended up going b3 check, sacrificing a pawn, because I thought that I could get a lot of good development out of it. And then he took, of course, I took back, and he took with the rook. And now I saw that once the rook captured back, I had this this sort of fork, and I mean, this pawn's, I'm going to end up winning. And I'm up 2.9 on the engine, so I am absolutely crushing here. And now we saw rook to b4, but I didn't capitalize, and I played the move rook to c8. Not the ideal move. I thought I could get some discover check business, but after knight to b3, I'm still winning, but everything is kind of solidly defended. I mean, I don't have a check anymore, and I ended up playing queen to a5. I completely missed the idea of pushing up to a5. It accomplishes the same thing that queen to a5 does, except it makes my queen more flexible. Like, now my queen can still move, and it's not tied up on a5. But I ended up playing queen to a5, so now the game is going down to 0.8. I'm still winning, but my advantage is dwindling down. And at this point, I was getting low on time, too. And I played the move knight e4 check. I thought this was a good move because the knight takes and we capture back with the check. But I happened to completely miss, for some reason, the idea that the rook can just take the knight. True tunnel vision there. That was really rough. I was very annoyed in that moment, but it's fine because we ended up at least getting f5 and some counterplay. I checked. Again, knight cannot take because of the pin. And then I just played queen to b4, looking to maybe gang up on this pawn. Now we saw queen to b4. And then I ended up taking because, I mean, I just didn't really see any other great options. Bishop to g7, just kind of, I mean, this is a really active bishop. And now, I mean, he ended up going here because, I mean, if he dropped back, now I just win the knight. Jeez, there we go. But he had the brilliant knight to f3 move. Very good find by him because after I take, it is 2 knights for a rook and a pawn. So I still am losing. He played rook to f4, solidifying everything. And now d6 was a total threat because of this. And this would fork my rooks because it's defended by the knight. So I went rook to b8, he pushed, and this is just turning bad really quick for us. I mean, the knight's coming in, and this is just not looking good. But yeah, the knight came back, and that was a blunder by him because this just gives me the pawn for complete free, and he's still winning, but it's not that easy now. And now he played knight to b6, another mistake, and I'm down to 6.6 seconds. I mean, this is danger zone for me because of the time risk. And here, he completely gave the game away with the move king to c2 because I totally missed this move because after the rook to c6 check, if the king comes like over here or something, we can just take now because of the pin. He cannot capture back. And now we just won the knight for free, but I missed it. And if he comes down here, we can still do the same thing because of the rook. But unfortunately, being low on time, I missed that. And he gave it to me again. And guess what? I missed it once again. And the annoying thing was, 2 seconds after I played this move, I saw that I had the idea of taking the knight. Because once again, if he captures back, we win the rook, and we are just completely crushing here. But I missed it, and unfortunately, I just couldn't really find a way to respond here because the knights were just too good. I ended up going for this. I thought this was a good play, but it turns out it wasn't because we can just capture the knight, and sure, we at least win the exchange, but, I mean, this pawn is just going to come down the board, and there's not really a way to stop it. I mean, the only way is for my king to get in, and I did end up getting in, and he actually threw the game away into a draw. And now all of a sudden, I mean, his time was low too. So, I mean, he played king to b5, and now after king to d7, I'm getting into c8, and this game is going to be a draw because, I mean, even if he plays a move like that, I'm getting into b7, and now he has no way to go forward. I mean, the checks won't do anything. Even if he plays this, we can play that. Just keep checking the king. It doesn't matter. I mean, we got to check here. Oops, not that. We got to check here. And now, I mean, this is just a draw now. So if my king got to b8, it would have been a draw. But if you can guess what happened, I didn't play that. I just, once again, in the heat of the moment, I didn't see that. And I just kind of hurriedly, just played the move rook to c8. and now b7, and the game is just over now. The king is defended. The king's going to now come to a7, and you can guess how this ended. I had to sacrifice my rook, and really of a bummer game. He ended up completing the rook checkmate. Just a total bummer, unfortunately. I actually ended up resigning, but overall, this game, I had some big time winning opportunities because I had a really good attack. I just couldn't end up finding the correct moves, and time caught up to me. One of my biggest weaknesses, no doubt. I'm trying to work on that as much as I can, just being better at time management. But this was still a very interesting game, 75 moves. And this game was so back and forth, but I didn't end up getting the win, unfortunately. But it was still a great learning game, and I thank you all so much for watching. I will see you all next time. Have a wonderful day.